Good morning. I know I haven't done videos quite as regularly, and there's some reason about that. I may get into that later in this video, but just wanted to give a few updates on some things while I go on my morning walk. So I should be off and on throughout this video at different stages in the walk. So anyway, I guess let's get to it. So it's a little bit cool this morning, in the low 50s. I mean, cool for us where I am in the deep south. So, but other places y'all be like, man, I can't believe he's got on a t-shirt in that weather. But anyway, I guess first I'll start off with health sort of things. I decided when Lent and Ash Wednesday, I'm not Catholic, but you know, the practice had some appeal to me. Oh, I love all our neighborhood dogs. Anyway, I decided that I would try out a little bit of fasting for the Lenten season. And well, at first I was going to try, because I had tried once before, a water fast and just do strictly water. And I was like, you know, that was really difficult the one time I tried before. Didn't really feel sustainable, and that's what I'm trying to go for. Just trying to go for something long haul sustainable. Just to give you an idea of things I've done in the past, I did the counting calories. That was the first way that I lost a ton of weight. Got down to a certain point and then kind of hit a plateau. Saw some things where folks were doing whole foods, plant-based. So I tried that, tried kind of vegan from that point, and got down as low as I've gotten in my adult life, from about 335 pounds to 208-ish, I think, the lowest actually registered on a scale. But gradually, over the course of the past 4 or 5 years, it has all steadily sort of risen back up. And you know, I'm not saying anything was wrong with either of those programs. It just didn't work right for me within my household and my life. I got 2 sons. One is a very picky eater, and one is not so much. I have my wife who has her own dietary concerns, and then my mother was having her own sort of dietary issues. And so when you get down to it, in our household, that was going to be about 5 different meals for 5 individuals, and that's just not practical or reasonable for a family. So tried a few different things. I've always been fine with the walking and exercise and such, but we all know that have tried fitness journeys, health, nutrition journeys, that you can never out-exercise a bad diet. And I'm not talking about bad diet in terms of like a diet plan, but I'm talking about just in general, what you eat is always going to have more sway within the overall equation than the little bit that you can burn off through exercise. So anyway, so the Lenten season comes up. I'm like, I want to do a fast. So I did a little bit of research. Tried to figure out, because, okay, they've been doing this thing for millennia now. And how do they fast for 40 days? Well, then I fell into the concept and research of what they call a black fast, which meant that during all daylight hours, they didn't eat anything. And then as the evening came, they wouldn't eat a lot, Like, they wouldn't eat meat, they wouldn't eat dairy, they wouldn't eat alcohol. Well, I was going to do that. Ash Wednesday comes and I forgot. I serve as a music minister at a church. Once we get done, it's kind of gotten to be a family tradition of eating at the local Mexican restaurant after our Wednesday night church services. So I was like, oh great, we're going to torpedo the plan in the first night. All right. So I was like, you know what? This is my fast. This is my plan. This is what I'm experimenting with. So let's give it a try. And so I opted, you know what? I'll just do the not eating during the daytime. And we'll just see where it goes from there. The other thing about fast traditionally was that Sunday was kind of more of a freedom day. It was considered a day that feasts would occur and such, in celebration of different saints and things. So Sunday was a little bit more unrestricted than the weekdays and such were. So I decided to employ that as well, because Sundays are a pain. We're always in a rush with me serving in a church, and so that's what we did. Well, so I started that way, and then I thought about, I still got to deal with Saturday. So I did a little more research and reading. Come to find out about this extreme version of intermittent fasting called one meal a day. So I was like, well, that's practically what I'm doing. I'm reserving until I have dinner with the family at night on weekdays. Let's just see if I do one meal a day on weekdays, if that affords me the calorie deficit and freedom to eat without kind of restriction on Saturday and Sunday. Now, I'm not talking about like gorging yourself. I'm talking about, just not having to put so much thought into logging everything, counting everything on a weekend and when I'm with my family. So that's what I've done ever since March 2nd, 3rd, and so far it's been working quite well, actually. I've had a steady loss of, best I can figure, somewhere between 1 and 2 pounds a week. So when I started, I was at 325 pounds, and we're now about a month later, March 2nd, April 2nd, and as of this morning, I started at 325, and I weighed this morning, of course, before I started all this, and the weight was down to about, I think it was 312 and some change on the decimal side. So I've lost, if you consider, that's kind of dehydrated after the night and sleeping, your lowest weight kind of being, and so that pretty much I can figure on about 10 pounds maybe that have been lost for real in doing this. Now I'm trying to slowly incorporate back in my walking, because really most of that has been done. I did about three or four walks since the video where I got the Amazfit, just testing out the paces, trying things out. In fact, even right now, if you hear me winded every once in a while, I'm trying to do the pace, keep the pace up a little bit, but because I did set out on a race walking profile before I started this. But anyway, so that's where I am kind of in my fitness journey. I thought about, because one of the limited 100 milers I've done when I was ultra running in the past, is the Snowdrop Ultra 55 in Houston area. I was trying to talk a couple of my buddies that I've run with in the past. We did a Spartan trifecta back in 2016, maybe 2017, and they perennially do the St. Jude Marathon up in Memphis. And I was trying to talk them into joining me in the craziness of ultra running, but I don't think they have taken the bait yet. So I figure if I keep on this pace, I could probably be down in terms of weight to about 250, which would be about 25 pounds lighter than I was the first time I did Snowdrop, which would be cool. And I'd be curious how my performance would improve. But I don't know. It is a lot of money. It is a lot of trouble for my wife and sons, because it happens over New Year's, and the logistics of crewing for me when I do these long races is just very, very troublesome, especially when you don't have anyone else in your family that is actually doing that kind of thing. So it's really hard for them to, I mean, they have their own activities that they'll occupy their mind with, but it's really not their passion or excitement to do those sorts of things. So I don't know, we'll see. Okay, well, so that's kind of fitness journey. I've started growing the beard back out because I had to shave it because my wife, we stumbled upon a Nezuko Cosplay in a liquidation store, and we didn't even know that's what we had gotten at first. We had just seen if you watch Demon Slayer, the Hanafuda earrings. I'm probably butchering that, but we found those in a pack, and it was with some clothes, and I was like, well, maybe it's a Tanjiro costume or something. When we got it open, it was actually Nezuko, and it was actually really close to my wife's size. Well, I've done cosplays before. I put one that I was working on in the videos, and it was, I enjoy it. It's kind of fun to go to a convention or an anime fest and have everybody enjoy a shared geekery around something. Well, but my wife never had. I mean, she'd been handler when I had more cumbersome costumes and put that touch on helping me get around. Koro Sensei, for instance, big bulbous head that I could only see through kind of his mouth and such. But so she wanted to do this, and I was like, oh, this will be cool. I was like, wonder if we could do a couple one. Well, I only had a month till the Anime Fest, and I was trying to figure out who to be. Well, I was like, if she's Nezuko, I could be Tanjiro. And then I was like, wait a minute, this is my wife. I don't want to be the brother of the person to my wife's character. So then I did a little bit of research. I ain't gonna do any spoilers, but I settled on Zenitsu, sleepyhead lightning boy. Okay, so I did that one, but these are all kind of younger guys, and they don't really carry a beard or facial hair, so I was getting a little frustrated with it anyway, so I lopped everything off and did the Zenitsu cosplay for the Mississippi Anime Fest. And so that's what we did. We didn't win, but I think the crowd enjoyed our presence in the contest anyway. So it was good fun, but now I'm trying to let it grow back in. So I don't want to make this too terribly long. I mean, and I'm still trying to get the steps and the walk in. I think we've just about made it a mile. Pretty close. Yeah, about 500ths till a mile. So, I guess let me tell you about some upcoming things and ideas that I've had. I know I haven't done a lot of reaction videos, partially because I'm just really burnt on the, you never know if it's going to come up copyright strike or not. I really had enjoyed doing the ones that were old vintage cartoons or anime and stuff that I grew up with, but like every single one of those that I've done has had a copyright claim against it. I've been blessed to not get any strikes yet, but I get concerned that gradually push the envelope, because it seems to me that there are a lot of folks that are not necessarily in it for the nostalgia of the thing, but as some folks are wanting to see the movie without, having to see the movie or whatever, or maybe that's what the big companies that throw the copyright claims think. But I don't know, I'm just not all about that. I mean, I enjoy, I do the cosplay. I enjoy the shared fandoms of different things, but the getting in there and, putting the channel at risk for something that, may or may not garner a following, but then I feel like the following is not really legit, because how many folks are watching it because it's a Star Wars movies, or it's the Avengers and Marvel movies, or something else that they're already into and not really interested in being part of whatever we're building here. So a couple of ideas that I'm trying. One, I've been working on because another thing close, near and dear to me as a music minister is gospel and Christian music. And so I only recently, I'm always kind of late to the party with some of these trends, but I only recently came across the idea of the iceberg charts. And so I've been working on constructing a massive Christian and gospel music iceberg chart, and I plan to do a series of videos explaining the chart that I made. So those should be forthcoming. Maybe if I get some time today, later, I'll probably do that. But so I'm working on that. It will probably be about 8 to 10 videos worth. I've got the first part where it's just about ready for a video, but it's time consuming, y'all. It takes a little bit of time to make those charts. So that's one thing. The other thing is we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of me starting this channel. So April 28th. I kind of have a mild goal, but I don't know if I'm going to make it with only about 3.5 weeks left to have 100 videos on my channel by April 28th, or the end of April. And I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'll give it a try. I think I'm about 7 or 8 videos away from 100 total, so we'll see how that goes. Another thing I've thought about, since I do music ministry and all, is I've always loved music, playing music, doing music, and I've thought about doing a few originals. Some of you may have seen my video about the Martin guitar that I got for my birthday last year, and I love the guitar. I've got enough instruments basically to make up a full band's worth of sounds, and so I've considered trying to create some of my own music. I was in a band in college, and we mostly did church youth events and things, but I don't know. I have a lot of musical influences, and I don't know if anyone would be down with that, but we can see. Let me know in the comments any of these ideas and things that I'm lobbing out there, if any of them would connect with you, or they might be something you might be interested in. I still have a few ideas for some reaction videos, but I'm trying to decide on a way to do it even more safely, to where I'm not jeopardizing a strike or a claim. But I don't know if people would be interested in them, because people get a lot of, to where, I don't know. I just don't know if people would find it interesting if we're just kind of discussing, maybe with a few screenshots, a film, rather than actually watching a person watch the film. So you let me know in the comments if that'd be something you might be cool with, because I've got some ideas for some things out there. I mean, I've seen most of the stuff that's making the circles and reactions, which is why I don't do a whole lot of them. I try to introduce some to my kids, like I did with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, but it's really hard to get the whole fam together for watching a movie, especially when my wife is a teacher, so she's always got like some tutorings or different things that she has to do. My oldest is trying to finish up senior year here, so I don't want to distract too much from him doing his best to finish out his school year. And so yeah, that's why I haven't done a whole lot of those, because the limited time that you have as a family, where someone's not at work or someone's not having to do schoolwork, it's kind of rough to try to pull everybody in and say, okay, let's watch a movie, because the boys aren't necessarily into it. Like, they're YouTube watchers and consumers, but they're not really content makers in that sense. So anyway, I know this is probably not the most exciting video that I've done, but I do appreciate you coming on the walk with me. And like I said, if you got any ideas or thoughts on some of the things that I've shared here, feel free. I will probably be continuing to update this fitness journey. I may make that original music if I get the guts to actually just do it, once again, it's a time thing. And I know there's some reaction videos that people have requested in the comments in the past that I have not gotten around to. I have not forgotten y'all, okay? But like I said, I just had a struggle with some of that. Probably the next big thing up will be the Christian and gospel music iceberg, and that should be coming shortly, at least the first video. I'm still building the rest of the iceberg, and I'll try to have links for the work in progress in the description of this video. So till next time.